Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Mr. Fred and Friends. I'm your host, Fred Schultz, and got some great guys on tonight. I got to tell you, obviously William Bailey will be here with me. We'll pull him up here in just a little bit. But tonight I've got Mr. Edgar Mathis, Fernando Piano, and Nick Banta. These guys are all with the Filipino Paintball Worldwide Group, and I've had these guys on before. Very well received. People really enjoyed listening to them, and it's a great group. It's a great group. We're going to talk. They got teams that are doing very, very well right now. So in a few minutes, when I pull these guys up, we're going to talk about some of the stuff they've got going on, and get everybody interested. This is like I said, these guys are some pretty cool guys, and they go out, they play hard, and I'm looking very much forward to talking to them about what they got going on and what they've already done. And the last time that we had these guys on, I think their group was like 400 and something. Now it's 600 and something. So they are definitely starting to get their legs and gain momentum. And I hope everybody out there will support these guys because they're a great, great bunch of guys. So a few things I got to mention real quick before I pull these guys out. Last week I had Bud Orr and Mr. John Gregory from JT on. I want to thank them once again so much for being on. They were terrific guests and very, very good people. Really, really are. I was very, very pleased to have them guys on. And a few things I got to mention here. I've got the WCPL is coming up, and it's in New York, and it's not too far away. It's June 4th through 5th, and it's a great, great tournament. And it's at, it's out there at the paintball field out there in, Newburgh, New York. I got a brain freeze on that, man. I always want to say New York. It's in Newburgh, which is about about an hour from New York. So anyhow, yeah, if you get a chance, you're going to want to go out there and do that. And then right after that, actually in July at the same field, you guys are going to want to go out there because the ICC, the Montressor Classic, is also going to be there. And Frank and Jennifer are carrying on their son Tim's legacy and doing the tournament. And this year it's at Paintball New York. And I got to tell you, to start with, Paintball New York is probably the oldest woods ball field in the world. This woods ball field goes back to the early 80s. It's an incredible woods ball field. Now, the ICC, they're going to have everything there. They're going to have the Hyperball and the Mounds field, which they're building right now. But they got a woods field there called the Ponderosa, which I played on like 30 some years ago, and it is absolutely cool. I absolutely love it. And you're going to want to go out there and check that out. Even if you're not going to play, get out there and check out the WCPL the 4th and the 5th of June. And then July 29th through the 31st, get out there and check out the ICC Montressor Classic. You're going to love it. A couple of things. The ICPL was this last weekend up in Sacramento. Now, there's a few teams, the CAP team actually won it, but I've got a lot of friends on I actually had friends on all of them, but the OG Ironman took second place. And that was a great feat because let me tell you, there was a lot of tough teams there. They really, really were. Aftershock ended up taking third place. Now, this is all in the pro division. It was some hard play. I went up Saturday and I checked it out and talked to my buddy Tom Cole. Tom is the guy that actually runs it. Great event. It really was. And talked to him and Rich Telford. Had a great time talking to these guys. It's the only, it's one thing I say about paintball. If it wasn't for paintball, you'd never get to see your friends like this. And I got so many friends in paintball. I just absolutely love it. So when I get to go to events like this and I get to see these guys, it's just an extremely cool thing for me. I just absolutely love it. And a couple more things I got to mention real quick. The Legends game, it's the Hall of Fame game, and it's in Pinckney at Hell Survivors in Pinckney, Michigan. And it's going to be May 19th through the 22nd. And even if you can't go play that, that Friday, they're going to give out the new Hall of Fame awards. and I've got some friends that are getting them this year. And if you get a chance, you're going to want to go out and check that out. Just a super, super great group of people. You will absolutely love them. And then Monte Casino's coming up pretty quick. Now, that's a big game, and it's out in Roodhouse, Illinois. That's right, Roodhouse, Illinois. And not Roadhouse, Roodhouse. And it's a great, great time. And it's going to be April 30th through May 1st. And my buddy Bill Bailey, I'll pull him up here in a minute. And we'll talk a little bit more about it once we get going. But it's a good thing to go to. And who are the generals? Bud Orr, boom. Dan Colby, boom. Just two terrific, terrific guys. Like I said, we had Bud on last week, and Bud is always a pleasure. You know, the guy has done so much for paintball in the past, and he has not stopped. He is, he is still wheels down. He is one credible person. I absolutely love the guy. So a couple of other things I want to mention real quick is Rick Wilcox is doing another one of the cancer benefits. I don't think the website's up yet, but Rick will he'll tell me what the website is in the future, and I'll go ahead and I'll put it up on my site so you guys can check in and do it. He's setting up fields, and he's setting up different sponsors and everything like that. So I don't know that much about it, but as Rick gives me more information on it and the site comes up, I'll make you guys aware of it. And it's a pretty good thing. It really, really is. So let me give my shout outs real quick, because I am just itching to get these guys out here. These guys are some terrific, terrific guys. You're going to absolutely love them. But I have to give my shout outs every week. The people that I mention on this paper, I have done so much for paintball, and I wish everybody nowadays, all the kids, could go back to when we all first started with this paintball thing and see the work, the effort, the money, the time that these guys that I mentioned put into this to make paintball what it is today. You take these guys out of the equation, I mean, there might not even be paintball, literally. That's how much these guys have done. They're just absolutely terrific. Ryan Courtney, how you doing this evening, buddy? And Chase Messer. I got to see Chase. Chase was at the ICPL this last weekend. So good to see him. He's got an autococker that's just beautiful. Absolutely love it. Bud would have liked to see that, Chase. Actually, I think I'm going to send him a picture of it. And Andy McLean. Very, very cool. Just some great. I got to tell you, the viewers we get are just incredible. I love them. I absolutely do. Real quick, I start out every week with my buddy, Mr. Tim Schloss. Tim had Tiger Stripe back in the day, and now I want to tell you guys something. I'm going to give you a little teaser here that Tim and I have been working on something. So in the next week or so, you might be seeing the original Tiger Stripe coming back. And believe me, there's nothing like the original Tiger Stripe. And there's nothing like Tim Schloss, one of the greatest guys you ever want to meet in your life. And he actually has one of the best fields I've ever seen. It's Gateway Paintball in St. Louis, and it's absolutely terrific, terrific place. It's like 6 minutes from the airport. The fields are manicured. He's got like 14 different fields. I know Bill's been working on it with him because they have the last WCPL in October. So I cannot wait to go do that. But it's pretty cool. So Mr. Tim Schloss, great, great guy. Absolutely love him. And then Dan and John Colby, Immortal Air. They've been my sponsors for 30 some years. And now Dan has a paintball field. Him and his partner, they're up there in northern Florida. It's called Panhandle Paintball. So if you get a chance, go up to Panhandle Paintball and check them out. Play some paintball. Meet Dan, another terrific guy. You're going to absolutely love him. And then Bud Orr. I can never say the name enough. Bud does so much for just everybody. He's an absolutely terrific guy. And I can never say enough about Bud. Love the guy, period. Like a brother to me. And then I got to say, Mr. Tom Kay had Airgun Designs back in the day. Rainey and Juvie Boucher had Paintball News back in the day. 2 times a month, you could go out to your field, grab a newspaper. It didn't cost the players nothing. You pick up that newspaper, you open it up, It had all kinds of stories. It told you what just happened, what was coming up, where all the fields were located, things for sale. It was like the Bible of paintball. It was just absolutely terrific. I just absolutely loved it. And then I got to say hi to Mr. Randy Camilla. Randy had APG, was the editor for APG back in the day. Jerry Braun was the editor for Paintball Sport Magazine, and Jerry owns the New York field where the WCPL and the Montressor Classic is going to be held here in the next couple of months. So, if you want to get a chance, go out and do that. Check it out. You'll love it. Great, great fields. And then Mr. Ross Alexander. Ross Alexander had Line SI. He was my very first sponsor. Had the Bushmaster. I'm sure, you know, anybody that's played paintball for any amount of years knows about the Bushmaster. It was the bomb back in the day. It was absolutely terrific. Mr. Jim Lively. He had Lively Productions back there. He had the Masters tournament. 2 tournaments he wanted to do every year. One was Jerry Brown's World Cup. The others was the Masters in Tennessee. Just absolutely great, great, great times to go there. It's like a family reunion because everybody that you knew in paintball that you had met always seemed to accumulate at these 2 events. And they were just terrific. Love it. And then I got to say hi to Gino from Belkin. Gino does a lot of stuff behind the scenes for paintball. And he just helps everybody. He doesn't go out and tell anybody about it. He just I won't say he's a shy guy, but he doesn't blow his horn. So anyhow, I have to mention him every week because I get to see behind the scenes what this guy actually does for paintball, and it's really phenomenal. It absolutely is. And then real quick, I got to say hi to my 2 little Hermans. The Hermans are. They're a kids team that I just absolutely love. They're just great. And it's Mark Gong Jr. and Jaden Gong, 2 terrific, terrific kids. So real quick, let me bring up Bill here. What's going on, Billy?
Oh, just catching up.
Yeah, but we got some cool guys on tonight. I can't remember how long ago it was we had them on, but, people just absolutely loved them.
Yep.
And
it's always interesting to see how things are going on across the world.
You know what? It absolutely is. Hey, we got Francis Swain watching here. Francis.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a great guy, man. He's definitely one of the good guys. And yeah. Chase Messer. I don't know if you got to meet Chase yet. In fact, I don't think you have. But Chase is just a terrific guy. I actually met him for the first time on my tournament that I had this year, the WCPL, up at Combat Zone up in Orville, which is another great field. You get a chance, you go up there and play, man. James Strutton and Jake Krulin, they did a great job on it. They have a really good field. It's like a Star Wars thing. I can explain it, but you wouldn't believe it. You got to go up and you got to check it out. But anyhow, that's where I met Chase. Chase came up to me, and he said years ago, him and his cousin had both bought the Talon that came with my video in it from Brass Eagle, right? He actually had the two Brass Eagle videos that he brought out for me to sign. I met this kid, and we've been in touch ever since. And I actually had the pleasure of getting to see him at the ICPL this last Saturday. Just a great person. When I talk about good people in paintball, that's the type of guy. Him, Francis Swain, Jeff Thompson. These guys are just terrific. And now, Billy, what do you see? We bring out 3 more terrific guys.
Let's get them out here.
Should we do that?
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree totally. So I think we're going to start with Freddy here. Freddy is a great guy. Been on the show before. Please, everybody, welcome Mr. Freddy Piano.
Hey guys,
how you doing, Freddy?
Good. How about yourselves?
Just staying out of trouble. A lot cheaper.
Me too. Ready for a great show.
Yeah, well, we got some great guys on here tonight. I absolutely love it. So
you guys are great. I don't know about the other 2.
Oh man. Oh, on that note, I'm going to bring up Mr. Edgar Matisse. Yeah, blow that. How you doing, Edgar?
How you doing?
Oh man, you hear Freddy? He's capping on you already. You weren't even on the screen yet.
I know. I couldn't figure out how to get on.
Oh, well, it looks great. You did a great job, my friend.
I think you spelled his name wrong.
Did I really?
Yeah, Edgar.
What?
Edgat.
Edgar.
Ah, it is
Edgar.
what it is. It
I
is what it
guess I
is
can't
now.
wear- I didn't see my glasses.
We're at
got
that
you.
age. We need our glasses.
Just go ahead and change your name. That's all.
Just
No big
leave it
deal.
to Ed the Gat.
Yeah. So right now, how about we welcome Nick Banta? Now, Nick, did I get your name right?
Yes, you did.
Wow. See,
Woo!
1 out of
Saving the
5,
best
not
for
bad.
last. Best for last.
Yeah. You know, we had you guys on before, and the next day I got so many good comments about you guys, how impressionable you were, and I just thought it was great. And I am really, really pleased to have you guys back on again tonight. I absolutely am. It's so cool. So, Edgar, I'm going to start with you. Okay, seeing I spelled your name wrong. Oh man, and you know what's funny too? That's how Freddy told me to spell it. But anyhow, I won't get into that.
I'm a gat. Ed gat.
So what's new with you in the paintball world now? Because I know you're a busy guy, and you were at the ICPL this last weekend too, right?
Yes. I was at ICPL. I played for the Dark Warriors. Shout out to those guys. Good guys, man.
Absolutely.
Good guys. You know, we had fun. So
Yeah, you know the tournament was pretty good actually, and the weather was great. A little breezy, but not too bad. I had a good time up there.
it was good. Reffing was good. I mean, field was nice. It was fun.
Yeah,
And
know
saw a
what
lot
was-
of legends.
Yeah, you know what was cool is the people up there, Edgar. You know, I mean, there was no real hassles. Everything was just very, very cordial. I had just an absolutely great time. So, how'd you guys end up? You guys played in the amateur division, correct?
Now we played on the pro division. We
Oh,
came
you
in
did?
we came in 4th place.
Oh, did you? Wow, that's pretty good because you know the pro division had some rock'em sock'em teams in there, baby.
It was
Yeah.
solid.
Let's talk about that. We got some of those cap guys are part of Filipino Worldwide.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, you guys just had a Filipino team that kicked some butt in the NXL. Do you guys know those guys?
Which ones?
It was a team in the NXL. Yep, in the
Our
last
10 man.
NXL. Yeah.
Our 10 man. Yes, we did.
Yeah,
We
he
did
in
well.
10-man.
Who's on? Do you know somebody that's on it?
It was me, Nick Banta, Will, a whole bunch of the guys. Yeah,
You
it was
guys-
a lot of fun.
Yeah. Where'd you guys? You got took what, 4th or second?
Second. We took
Second. Yeah,
Yeah,
boy,
we took
that's
second.
outstanding.
I got a medal and I didn't play.
Oh, there.
Edgar was supposed to fly out for the trip, but unfortunately wasn't able to make it. So we dedicated. We ended up playing some really tough, real tough. What team was that again?
Stream Rage. That was
Dream Rage. Yep.
I guess Todd Adamson's team with Mike Paxson. I know they didn't play, but they had the heavy hitters over there, the guys that originated the 10-man and a bunch of legends and goats, like I called them. It was a bunch of legends and goats.
Yeah.
It was definitely
Mike-
a lot of fun.
Yeah, Mike Paxson was he was up at the ICPL this last weekend too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
great
was
guys,
pretty
great
cool.
guys.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, how do you guys get to practice? Do you guys live by each other? Or?
Nick and I live like 30 minutes away. We're at a local field. And then Will lives down in Florida. So what ended up happening is we ended up getting a lot of the team that played for Team Philippines, 5-man, a bunch of players that were from all over the United States and all over the globe.
Right.
That were Filipino.
Yep.
Decided to come out and play with us. And so we don't really get to practice as a team, but I think one of the good things is I think everyone knows how to play paintball a little bit, so it makes it a little easier.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at because I knew you guys were spread out, but I didn't know exactly where. But I'll be honest with you. I mean, I played on teams, throw together teams just to go have fun, and ended up doing great. You know, I mean, I played on the Muffs team, you know, and we were a bunch of old guys back in the day even. And we went and we played, yeah, and that's right, Bill. And we went over and we played Mayhem over there. And everybody thought we were going to come in last. We damn near won that tournament and ended up coming in, I believe, third. So, you know, you never know. And you can never take anybody for granted. That's for
No,
sure.
it's definitely a lot of
Absolutely.
fun. Definitely a lot of fun. I think, you know, similar to Cap Factory, you know, we had some young kids with some salty old veterans, right? So I think you got to have that good mix.
Yeah, absolutely. Andy Strett's watching tonight. Andy Strett has the Ellie Remember Foundation in Colorado, and he does an awful lot for domestic violence. And I have to mention Andy because he works pretty hard for what he believes in, and he has some great events there too, man. He does pretty good. And the Usual Suspects, yeah, they have a team that actually right there, Jamie Connolly's on that team too, and they're a great bunch of guys. Real quick, Bill, you were holding up a marker a second ago. What was that?
That was one of Mike Paxton's from I forget which World Cup. They won World Cup with it.
Uh-huh.
And I actually found a guy up on the East Coast that had it, and he sold it on eBay, and I just happened to win it.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it looks great. That barrel's long enough. Holy smokes.
Yeah, the old
That almost
thing
goes from flag station to flag station.
Yeah,
That's the reach out and touch someone barrel.
yep. Well, we've got now. If you want to do that, you'd want to use this one.
Oh, here we go. And it begins. You know, for everybody out there, I mean, everybody usually knows, but Bill has the paintball museum, and what you see behind Bill is probably 2, 3, 4%. Now there's a barrel, guys.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's actually a dart gun.
That's 2 barrels and a half.
I could probably make 3 bull barrels out of that. You know.
Yeah. Well, plus it'd take the whole tank of beer to blow one ball through it.
Oh yeah.
Jeez. Wow.
Yeah.
Nick,
Yeah.
what do you shoot now?
I shoot. I mean, we played the tournament this past weekend, and I shot Planet Eclipse 3.5.
Oh, do you like it?
I love it.
Love it. Cool.
Yep,
What tournament did you play?
We played the TSXL in New Jersey.
Yeah, it's a local tournament. It's a X-Ball tournament, and we took second in that also. We're just steps away from gold.
How was the weather back there? A little chilly?
Oh, geez. On Sunday, it was interesting because Will flew up from Florida. I thought Will said he was going to join us, but I guess he's still in the shower. but interestingly enough, Will flew up from Florida, and he was amazed that we got all like 4 seasons in one day. So it started out about really cold, around 30 degrees, and then got up to about 55 degrees, 60 degrees, and then it got down to about 30 degrees, and then it rained, and then we got a little bit of like freezing rain, and then we got some snow. So it was all in one day, all in 12 hours. We got everything imaginable.
Oh my goodness. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. Holy smokes.
It definitely was.
Edgar, what do you shoot?
Yes.
You notice I threw the T on there. So,
Ed Gat.
It's an Ed Gat.
Edgar,
What do you shoot, Ed?
what are you shooting now?
Oh, I'm shooting Shocker. Did
Shocker?
not break a paint all day at the ICPL.
Oh, really?
Amazing.
Yeah, Shocker's pretty good. That's what.
With a barrel.
Yeah, that's what the OG Ironman shoot is at. And, you know, congratulations to them, too. You know, they took second place.
OG, they deserve it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't play, and I got a medal.
Again, Edgar, you get all the good medals.
I'm getting 3 medals. But you know what? It's amazing that those guys they were playing. I mean, they were awesome, but they're playing with their sons.
You know what?
Bird's playing with his son, Brandon Bird,
Dirk
Jamie
Gadberry and
Barrett,
Dirk and Dylan. Yep.
and Dylan. It was amazing for them to win that, and to have Bob Long there to witness.
Yeah, he came out on Sunday. I came out on Saturday and checked it out. But a lot of those guys started on CP back in the day. Because we all live in the same area. So even when they were the Ironmen and we were Constant Pursuit, we would practice against each other almost every weekend.
Wow.
So we had some great teams of practice against Black Sunday. It was just a host of teams out here, so it was pretty cool. But yeah, it was a pretty good time up there. I absolutely loved it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Freddie, it would have been pretty cool. You'd have liked it out here.
I'm definitely coming out. I think we're going to be out in Sacramento, where we, by taking second place, it was interesting. Team Philippines, and there's a lot of older Filipinos that played X-ball, and they played in the woods. Like Rocky Nuth and players like Quincy Boyez and Arnold Francisco and those guys. And
JP.
JP actually played on cap this past weekend, right? And so they're coming out and they're interested in playing some X-ball and just coming out of retirement for a couple tournaments and really representing Team Philippines. So it's definitely because of being on your show and all of those things, we've definitely increased the movement. And by, like you said, doing well in a couple tournaments, it's brought a lot of light to not just Team Philippines, but Edgar said it the other day. It's bringing a lot of light to players that are younger, players that are out there who played in the past, and they all want to come back, or highlighting a lot of Filipino players that are out there. And I think half of cap, or 1/3 of cap was, Filipino Americans, right? And so it's really a big movement, and I think it's all, because of Edgar and Nick and those guys who've been playing, and yourselves who've been playing for such a long time, that are bringing it back to the spotlight.
I had a lot of Filipino players on Constant Pursuit. I was just always for the best players, and the Filipino players, they're just fast.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. They are, especially these young guys. They are fast. Period.
Right.
Vu, right?
Yeah, Vu. Yeah, I met Vu. Yeah.
Yeah. Vu played on Constant Pursuit. I just have nothing but respect for you guys. And what's cool too is when I had you on the show before, that was my whole premise, was to try to build your organization, because I just think it's good for paintball. And I'm into whatever is good for paintball. I'm all in. And you guys working with an organization like that, I thought was outstanding. And that's why I had you back on again. The next day after we did the show, I got all kinds of great reviews about you guys and how impressionable you guys were, and it was pretty cool. I enjoyed the heck out of that. So, and plus, you gave me a great show, man.
Yeah, I think it's because we got we call out of respect, anyone that's elderly, we call them Kuya, right? And so we got Kuya Nick.
I think that was directed at me. Yeah.
Technically, we when you reach a certain age, we gotta show that level of respect, right? So
yeah.
As you get older, you become a Tito. So officially you're Tito Fred.
Yeah. Wait.
Fred.
I was just telling my friend the other day that I went in a restaurant and I ordered a 3-minute egg, and they wanted the money up front. Now you're old when that happens, baby. Believe me.
Oh my God.
So how many guys are on your team, on the Filipino team itself now? Because now you guys don't have all 600 people on the team. But
it could vary. Like, if we go to a national event and there's Filipinos, unofficially, officially, you've got like the Penlilios, right? They played on they played on cap, but there's also some pro older brother Brandon who plays on DMG, right? And they want to play with us, right? So if they're available and they've got a jersey, they just hop on, right? And again, it's 10-man is the easiest format for us to do that, because like you said, if you know how to play paintball and it's easier. You don't have to go around and practice as much, you know, where you guys in Mech, you definitely have to practice, but 10-man, 10-man at an NXL is a little easier.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty cool. I love all forms of paintball, but I'm a really big into woods ball. I love the woods ball because, you know, when we started, that's all there was was woods ball. You know, and
I remember.
yeah, there you go, Nick. And the next thing you went to the bales of hay. So I guess that would be the speedball, the beginning of the speedball. People have hay bales out there, and you played behind that, and it was good. Nick, when did you get started in paintball?
I started 87, 88. I actually started on Jerry Braun's field back in 87, 88. It was Survival New York.
Correct. You're absolutely right. Wow. So you go back just like I do then. So you played the Ponderosa out there, haven't you?
I
The
played
field.
Ponderosa, and I remember the one thing that stands out. I remember is that you would have to park your car somewhere down the field, and then a bus takes you to closer to the field.
That's correct. Yep. Yeah, it's a little over a quarter mile or something like that is where they had the parking. Yeah. Yeah, that is wow. I didn't know that you played that far back. That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, because the Ponderosa, oops, we got somebody jumping in here. This must be the guy that you said was in the shower. Who was capping on him? One of you guys was. Okay.
Is he on now? Where is he?
Right now. Now his name is Will, right?
Yes.
Yep.
I'm excited about Will joining.
You guys aren't setting me up, are you?
No.
Okay.
You
Please,
remember.
everybody, welcome Will here. And there he is.
There he is.
Oh, what's that?
I love it. I love it.
What's up, guys?
How you doing this evening, man?
I'm doing good, sir. How are you guys? I miss you guys.
Oh, hey, we're doing great. Now, we're having a good time. You know, I'm sure you know everybody on here. You know William Bailey?
Yes, sir.
Yep, there you go. Then you
What's
know
up, Bill?
everybody on here.
Much.
Yeah, they said you were going to be on earlier, but you were probably in the shower. You know,
Yeah,
you're not gonna, no one's going to cap to it. Yeah.
Yeah, my,
It smells
my kid
good.
watched the,
Smells good.
softball.
Will smells good.
Yeah.
No, I'm excited that Will's on because he's got to tell you about the new field that he's opening up. In a couple.
Oh, let's hear it. Come on, man. Well, first of all, Will, when did you get started in paintball, and how did you get started in paintball? Everybody, you know,
2000.
Everybody's heard about you guys already. You know, everybody knows that. But you're up, man. How did you get started? What got you into paintball itself? What made you decide this is what you want to do?
I started 2000.
And how'd you start? You just wake up one morning going, "Wow, I think I'm going to go play paintball."
one Friday, my boss asked me to play, and and I love it. From 2000, I started playing nonstop.
And you got hooked then, huh? So,
And I was
your
hooked.
boss took you out.
I play a lot of woods, and back in 2000, we have this thing called we have a big field in Florida. It's about 2,000 people out there. I don't know if you've been to Camp Blanding.
No.
There was a huge field, Camp Blanding. It's like it operates with the militaries and all that stuff. It's one of the biggest fields. It's not a field; it's a training ground for military, and they were using that for paintball.
Oh wow, very cool. Yeah, the first time I went over to England, the first field I played on, which was illegal then too, we actually had the bobbies come out, and thank God we had a court magistrate playing with us, or we would all been in trouble over there. But it was an abandoned airfield from World War II, so that was pretty cool. So you're starting a field, huh?
Yes, sir. If you actually go to Will's Paintball page, I just posted last week the new field. Because I'm trying to get the the mechanicals, the ICPL, the PSBL, all those good things.
Right.
I'm trying to it's a big field. It's actually a nice sand dunes with mounds. It's on the water. It's really nice. I mean, it's on the Will's Paintball page.
Where's it located, Will?
I can't. It's still up in the air.
I gotcha.
Yeah, still waiting for the city.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
but the owner is allowing me to use one of the field right now, which is this field is over 15 acres.
That's pretty good size.
It's really nice. I mean, if you get a chance to go to Will's Paintball page, and you'll see I was flying my drone actually on my page. You know, I was doing that because I had the first university sororities that came out there. So the owner's like, "Hey, let's go ahead and use that field." And I have a lot of positive feedback from a lot of players. They all want to try it out. Even Doc's Warriors.
Doc's Warriors.
Yeah, they all asked me. They all asked me to play out there. So I'm excited.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, we're getting Ed to come out of his shell now. It's working out pretty good.
It's late over here, so we're finally waking up now that Will's on the show. We're all finally waking up again.
Yeah. I know everybody's eyes got bigger. So, man, you're like a shot of adrenaline, Will.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited in this. I mean, it's all. I really want to try that back again, because.
How long have you been working on the field? How long has it been since you decided to open the field to where you're finally almost there?
Yeah, because the old field I have it's really limited. I maxed out everything in there. I really want to have scenario games because, like I said, the last scenario we have here in Jacksonville was like back of 2004. That's it, and we don't have it anymore after that. I mean, we do have Wayne's World in Ocala. That's pretty much it. And with this field here, it's big enough to host, even NXL. Bunker Fest is actually asking me to use this field for next year. And like I said, everything's up in the air. I should find out by next week.
Oh, what are you waiting on? Permits or what?
It's from the city. I want to make sure everything's good.
That's usually the snag. That's what drags on, because they usually take their time when they do something like that. I've been through it a couple times actually. But any way that we can help you, don't hesitate to contact me if there's anything that I can do to give you a hand.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
all for it, 100%. Because I had these guys on before, your buddies that you're looking at right there. I had these guys on before, and I had a great conversation with them. And the next day, like I was telling everybody before you came on, I was just inundated with people getting a hold of me saying how cool they thought this was and how great they thought the group was. And I think when we did the show, because Bill joined your group right after the show, I believe, right, Bill?
Yep.
And there was like 400 in the group. And now there's over 600 in the group. So
actually, Will started that group, right? And Will was on the call last time.
Yeah, he was on the call last time.
And Will was the originator of that.
You started the whole group itself, Will?
Yes,
We
I did.
hijacked it.
Yeah.
You what?
Well, we hijacked it.
We hijacked it from Will.
A lot of these guys, I don't even know these guys until shoot. Last year. 3 years ago.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I see them all the time, and it's just gotten so big.
Well, but that's what you want because that's good for paintball. Not just good for Filipinos. It's good for everybody when your organization gets bigger, and that's what I'm all about all the time. Is just making paintball bigger and better. And, the attitude you guys got is a big thing. We're gonna talk Hormesis in just a minute here, yeah. But
what are you talking about? What?
Hormesis?
I gotta put my Edgar on.
Freddy.
Edgar. I gotta put my Edgar on.
Island logo right there.
There you go.
And I played on the original cap.
All right, Freddy, is that big enough to get around your head?
I don't know.
You need double the size of that.
Staple a couple together, man.
I got the Edgar on. I had to wear the Edgar.
Looking good.
And I got to wear the Fred, right? Because I'm on the show, so I got to wear the Fred too, right? So.
Oh, look out! Look out!
Fred and the Edgar on.
Look at this guy.
You
Now
know,
this guy's styling.
He's
Man,
styling.
gee, Freddie, you
I
just
got
took over the whole damn
about
show.
100 years of paintball on my head.
You just took over the show.
I got 100 years of paintball on my head right about now. So
Oh man.
hopefully all that great juju transfers over to this brain.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I think you're pretty smart already. You know, don't get it too cluttered in there. Ryan Courtney, see, make a call and get his drone for Will and Friends. Oh, there you go. People want to see your drone shots, man.
No, it's done.
Yeah,
And it is on Will and Friends. That's pretty cute. I like that.
Yeah, you guys definitely need to watch that drone shots.
Yeah, actually, when I get done with the show, I'm actually going to pull it up and check it out. So, you know, because, you know, like I was talking about it, you know, attitudes, everything, you know, people sit and watch like you guys right now. It makes you want to go out and do it. You know, it makes you want to go out and try it. You know, attitude's a big thing in building paintball. And now look at when we started the first show you guys were on, you had 400 and some, you got over 600 now. That's over 200 and some people that are interested in you guys and wanted to be part of it. Now, if you guys came on, you
we make a lot of babies. So, you know,
yeah. You think that's it, huh? Wow, everybody got quiet. What happened?
Babies. I'm not trying to have any more babies.
I mean, you all know how, don't you? Oh man, I gotta be careful. We can't let it go off the rail here.
Yeah, exactly. Let's stay on track over here.
You know, our kids, you know, all the kids, you know, are you know, like the old OGs are like, hey, you got to join this Filipino group. You got to join the Filipino group. So now all the kids that are playing with their parents, you know, and like look at the Penlilios, right? I mean, you've got father and son playing together on the 5-man, right?
Mike, Brandon, Tyler, and Caleb.
Yep.
You got the like I said, you got Charlie, a friend of ours, Racho. He's playing with his son, right, Kobe. So you know, it's you know, the group grew not just because or organically from like, hey, father getting their son into playing paintball, and it's been a really great experience. Now the sons are part of the group, right? So it's been one of those things, and I think, you know, you really did, Fred, help out a lot, right? And bringing a lot of visibility to what we were doing.
Oh, I appreciate that. But, you know, that's what we need as the kids, you know, having the fathers to play paintball, bringing their sons into it and daughters and teaching them to play and teach them to play the right way and a good attitude. That's what's going to keep paintball going. You know, I mean, that is a necessity for anything. And, you know, I love paintball. Everybody knows I love paintball. And when I finally pass on, I don't want paintball to die out. I want people just to keep pushing it and making it bigger and bigger. And that's what the kids are going to do now. You know what? That's why it excites me to see these kids like the Hermans. And look what Mark Gong and Michael Beard started. Now, I know that a lot of people had groups and worked with kids across the U.S. and everything like that. But once we started talking to these guys and started talking about them, other groups contacted them. Now they're like a little coalition, you know, everybody working to make these kids even better. And now they're working on an actual kids tournament series.
Yeah,
I'm actually our coach, Todd Martinez, right? He's a coach for us and the owner of Weapons. He's working with a group called URPL, right, which is, you know, basically like a little league. You know, you have adults, you know, that they come out and they're coaches and they put kids out on the field, you know, and he's actually making weapons, is making the uniforms for them to go out and play this tournament. It's you know, and they have coaches and they have people that go out and show them what to do as a typical, like, just the little league baseball.
Right.
The URPL is becoming big.
Yeah,
I think
that's what
it's
it takes.
four states right now. So
I mean, you guys, all you guys that are on here tonight would be great coaches. I mean, you guys are all, you know, smart about the game, very impressionable. You know, I'm sure the kids would listen to you. I think you guys would all make great coaches.
Yeah, Will's got a great little team too, right, Will?
Yeah, I'm actually part of that the NXL youth group committee. and we have a go signal from Tom Cole that we're gonna have our first youth NXL youth is gonna be happening on, I believe, the World Cup.
Wow.
So
Oh,
definitely
excellent.
that's
Yeah, because I think the Hermans are going out to that. The Hermans are the
Yep.
the OG Ironman, the kids group of it, and I believe we're doing like raffles and all kinds of stuff they're doing to get money to get these kids out there to go do that. So I applaud the heck out of that, and like I say, that's our future. I mean, you guys are all still pretty young, but these kids, they're a lot younger, and if you bring them up right, paintball will be even bigger because. When I started paintball was one thing. Now paintball is bigger, and we want it to keep growing. We never want it to die out. So I love the kids groups. I think it's absolutely terrific. And are you gonna get a Filipino kids group together? I think that would be just absolutely stunning.
I actually coaching a kid right now, 14 below, and they are going to play that youth group, the NXL youth.
They're going to play that.
Yeah,
is that a 5-man?
It's going to be a 5-man. 2 of my kids are actually Filipinos, and a couple of Filipino American as well too.
Look at Ollie. Actually, Ollie's back in the U.S.
I know he is. I talk to him every day.
Yeah, he's back in the U.S., huh?
Yeah, he's gonna do the show here. He's coming up here. I can't tell you a whole bunch, but he'll be up here in a week or so. And he's gonna do the show. I did the show with him. When was that, Bill? A few months ago, we did the show.
It's only been about a month and a half, maybe at the most.
Yeah, something like that. He was in Bali, and the problem was the reception. I could say something, and you had to wait like 8 seconds for it to get to him. The lag.
There was definitely a huge delay.
Yeah, Fred would say something, you'd sit there and you could hear him listen to
there was a huge lag, and then I did the show. I did the show down at Field 1 because they're not far from me. And I did that a couple of weeks ago. I had Eric Trandle, the owner of Field 1, and Alex Frazy. He was there. And it was a terrific show. We had a really good conversation. And so we're going to have another show here coming up in the next week or so. And it'll have Oliver and Alex.
They are a live show. Supporters. They are huge supporters of the Filipino community. I think.
Oh, yeah.
Well, everybody should be a huge supporter of you guys. I mean, I'm serious, really. If you guys were a bunch of jerks, first of all, I wouldn't have you on. You guys are all really, really good for the sport. And anybody that cares about our sport, you can walk around, you can talk it like you want all the time, but until you start walking it like you talk it, you do nothing for the sport. You can be the best player out there in the world and come off the field and be a jerk, and you do nothing to build our sport, period. What you guys do is I think a very big thing. That's why I had you guys on a second time, because I just loved it the first time I had you guys on. People love listening to you guys. Nobody called me the next day and says, "Oh man, what the hell do you have them guys on for? They suck." Not one. Everything. Okay, except for Bill. Okay, but no, we love you, Bill. We love you. But everything was positive the next day, and it just it made me feel good too.
Yeah, I do want to give that shout out to Alex. Because when Edgar and I went out to dinner with him, he actually gave us a Hormesis band, where we were able to raffle it off for one of the Filipino paintball players who had. I think we had done your show. I wasn't sure if I mentioned it, but we were able to raffle that off and give this family whose house was on fire, right? Right before Christmas.
Yeah, I think you mentioned something about that.
And so without Alex doing that, we got to give him a little shout out for that, because that's
exactly.
That's huge. That's giving back to the sport, and Alex definitely does that. And
Oh, Alex is a great guy. He he did the show. You guys know Tim Schloss, right? They had Tiger Stripe camouflage. Anyhow, Tim called up. He called up during the show, but he called up right after the show, and he says that sitting and listening to Alex talk, he goes, Tim goes, Fred, he sounded exactly like you did 30 years ago. And that's what he did. It's all a positive thing about the sport. Like you guys, you guys kid around with each other. I mean, that's fun. I have you got to do that. I absolutely love it. But when it comes to paintball or having each other's back, my guess is you guys have each other's back.
Dude,
Absolutely.
of
Yep.
course.
And but that means something. See, that's a camaraderie of people getting together to make something better, and that's what we're all working for, is to make paintball better. You agree, Nick?
I agree. And
I
just
agree.
to point out,
I
Fred,
mean,
like just so like I met Will last year. I've been friends with Freddy for the last 20 years, but Edgar and I haven't met yet. But we've been talking almost on a regular basis for the
like
last year,
every other day or almost every day.
and we
Will,
haven't seen
Will,
each other yet.
and Will flew up. Will flew up to help support the tournament, and Edgar. I mean, it's so funny. These two met through me because Nick called me up and he's like, they named the Hormesis after a Filipino guy. I'm like, what's his name? He's like, Edgar. And I go, Edgar? Edgar's a teammate of mine and one of my good friends. And next thing you know, I put all three of us on a call and they're like, where are you from? Where are you from? And they end up being from the same town in the Philippines.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. See,
Summer
that's
capital of the Philippines.
that's what I say about paintball. Like you guys, if it wasn't for paintball, you guys probably wouldn't know each other either.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
we're like
Probably
brothers
not.
from another
Yeah.
mother.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go. That's like Bill and I. I've had Bill on my show now for a gazillion years, and Bill and I never shook hands for almost a year. He was on the show with me every week, but I never met him face to face. So, and
Wow.
and just because you guys haven't, just like you two haven't met face to face, but look what you guys are doing together to work on paintball, to work on the Filipino worldwide group. Just all of it. I just love it. I'm all about it, and you guys are just cool as hell.
Well,
Truly.
Fred, the way we talk to each other, we're like brothers, like blood brothers. I mean, it's
That's
kind of
how it
weird,
should be.
but that's how it is. When we find out one is sick, like we are like, hey, make sure take your meds, rest
Yep.
up. You know what I mean? So we're like brothers. So basically, we haven't met each other yet, but we're like brothers.
But people that aren't even in paintball, they see you doing that. That makes paintball in a better light, even if they don't play. Believe it or not, people see you talking like you just talked. Even if they're not playing paintball, they're just thinking this has got to be a pretty good organization, because listen how these guys talk about each other. See, it's a big thing. It's such a simple thing to do to build paintball, but some people just don't get it. It's nothing hard. It's all about working with people and being friendly to people, treating people like you would want to be treated yourself.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And, if I may, I add to that, like one of the things I've been playing forever, but, I always give props to the pioneers, you for one, Bill, and the OG guys. Every time I see Todd Adamson, I call that guy the legend. I mean, he's the GOAT. I love Todd. I mean, Mike Paxson, he's another guy. I mean, a bunch of good guys. I just, I mean, uh, can't
They
say
are.
enough about those guys.
No, they're great guys.
And many
And
more. Rosie from GZ.
yeah, there's a lot of great guys out there. But you guys are pulling your load right now. You guys are all doing your part. And look at Will. Will's working with the kids, trying to get a field going. And Will, you don't look a day over what, 15? So
Will had a great field. His field just moved. That's all. Right. This field was around for 10 years, right, Will?
Well, I'm sorry. Say that again.
Your field was around for 10 years.
It's 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually had to move, Fred. And what gets me is like we have players from all the way to New Jersey flew here with the time I was moving and helped me move.
very cool. Hey,
And Those guys are awesome. We even have players from all the way to Guam. And they were here supposed to be on vacation and play paintball, but then they're out there helping me move.
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm talking about right there. Each person can do something to build paintball, but if everybody works together, you can kick butt.
Yeah.
And see, that's what I try to express and try to push all the time. Now, Freddy, you're going back over to the Philippines here in a little bit again. Do you play when you go over there?
I do a little bit. I try to get the kids field, and there's a couple other smaller fields over there that I try to get a chance to play. Actually, interestingly enough, when we were down at the Sunshine State, I was able to talk to Tom Cole, and we were talking about potentially bringing a NXL tournament, NXL Asia leg to the Philippines. One of the main reasons that Philippines is a desirable location is, in Asia, bringing a paintball marker is pretty difficult, but the Philippines is pretty easy to bring your marker in and out, right? So,
right,
where compared to Singapore, where they actually take it at the airport from you, right? And so yeah, we're in discussions, opening up some fields, and I've got some friends over there, and Kit's really looking to expand his field, which is great. I was just on a call with him earlier today. He's doing everything that he can do. Everything from he owns a dye sublimation company where he's making jerseys, right? And so he's making jerseys both for the paintball industry and also for what we equivalent to the NCAA over there. So, everyone's working pretty diligently to try to make paintball bigger in the Philippines. But I think here in the United States, what we call Filipino Americans, it's just booming. Like it's the younger kids are really getting into it, and the fathers are really bringing them up. So you gotta give props to those people. And you got to give props to you and Will and everybody that's doing these youth leagues, right? Because it's bringing a younger generation that whether they're Filipino or they're just American or wherever they are, bringing that younger generation into the sport. And I think with the Philippines, it's a little bit more difficult, to promote a sport that it's not cheap, right? It's not inexpensive, and trying to get everything over to the Philippines because everything's manufactured over here or in China, whatever. But at the end of the day, just getting product and paint and everything to the Philippines. Probably
you mentioned Kit. Didn't we have him on the show last time?
Yeah, we had the same issue that you had with Ollie.
Yes,
the
lag.
Logistics of the internet, right?
Yeah, but we did have him on, so we actually got to see part of his field for a little bit there.
Yeah,
he was out there doing it.
Yep. And he works him and his son again, another second and third generation that's playing paintball, right? And his son is helping run the field. He goes to college also, and he's helping run the field. No different than Will's daughters help run the field on the weekends, and they're full-time nurses, right? So it's not, it's a family thing, right? And
very cool. Yeah, Bill, how long have you had a field?
85.
Yeah, so you've had a field for a long time, huh?
Yeah.
The same field. You haven't moved or anything. It's been the same place, right?
It's been the same place. Yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
If you guys ever got a chance, I wish you could see his museum. Like when he goes to Monte Casino and he goes to some of these places, he takes it there. Literally hundreds and hundreds of markers, and some of them first run markers, some of them one of a kind. How long have you been collecting them, Billy?
84.
Oh wow!
When you started the field.
Yeah. I'm down to only one gun that was actually my own gun that I'd sold. I've only sold one of my personal guns. Technically I sold two, but I got one of them back, and I've contacted the guy that actually has it, and he's going to send it back to me. So I will have all of my own personal guns I've ever had.
That's
amazing. Very cool, Bill.
How many guns, Bill?
How many? What? 500, 600?
I had to tell you the truth. I have no idea. It's
you
easily
have to see it to believe it, Nick.
It's over 400 easily.
Yeah, it's
And
over 400. Yeah.
it's everything from Sheridan's to just it's everything. You know, lots of autocockers, all your Bushmasters, all your Nell Spots, Thunder Pigs, the
Yeah.
entire Brass Eagle line, the
Nice.
entire Titman line. Um, there's a lot.
Yeah, there's an awful lot. Absolutely.
Yeah. And
Well,
it's
guys,
awesome because
yeah.
I've actually received probably about 20 from people that I've met over the years, and they'll see me at the games and they just give them to me to display.
Yeah.
You know? And I've gotten several, and Mike Schultz, he sent me the Titman CS3. That's let me see.
Yeah, yeah. When you walk into when he has a museum set up, you walk in, it's on 3 different sides. It's just absolutely huge.
Never been
Wow.
open.
Wow.
It
Very
runs
nice.
on propane. It's an old pump marker. It runs on the green
Propane tank.
Yeah.
propane tank.
I remember that.
Yeah.
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 And
Real
then you go
quick.
straight barbecuing after
Yeah.
you're done playing
Yeah.
football.
Yeah. Who on the screen knows how many shots you get out of one of those little propane tanks? I bet nobody knows because it blew me away. What is
Yeah.
it? 40,000, Bill?
I think it's 50,000.
50,000. 50,000 shots on one propane tank. Little
Yep.
propane tank like that.
Yeah, just don't have a cigarette near because you might just blow up.
Oh yeah. There's
50,000 shots. So,
You know, it turns into a flamethrower when you're done with it.
yeah. You want to pass on the smoking part, that's for sure. Well, you know what, guys, we've gone through our hour. I'm going to let each one of you say goodbye individually, but I want to have the opportunity to tell you how much I appreciate you guys taking the time tonight to come on to show number 1. And I want to thank you, not just for myself, but for the entire paintball community, what you guys actually do for the sport of paintball. To me, it's a big thing. And people that actually work to promote our sport, I absolutely love. I mean, I can't say enough about you guys and what you guys do for the sport. I think it's absolutely terrific. So, Will, I'm going to start with you. I'm going to let you tell everybody how to get a hold of your information to see your field, and let's say goodbye to everybody.
Hey, Fred, first of all, I want to appreciate what you're doing with us as well, too. And you're helping us grow as an individual. And, you guys can get on hold of me through Facebook or my website under willspaintball.com or Will's Paintball on Facebook or Filipino Paintballers Worldwide. Okay?
There you go. Will, thank you so much for coming on
Thank
tonight.
you.
Appreciate it very much.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye now. He was a great guy. He very smooth. I wish him nothing but the best for his field. And like I told him, if there's anything that I can help him with, never hesitate to contact me, and I'd be happy to jump right in and do that. So you're next, Nick. I appreciate so much you coming on, man. Very, very cool. You live out there where? Out by New York, right?
Closer to New York, yeah, but I'm in New Jersey.
Yeah. Well, New York, New Jersey. What are you guys, a bridge apart? Yeah. Are you going to be at the WCPL in June at Jerry's thing?
That's the plan.
Oh man, I hope you are. I want to shake your hand. I want to sit there and talk to you face to face. That would be outstanding. I want you to stay in touch with me so we can link up when I'm out there, and I'll introduce you to everybody, man.
Yep. No, absolutely. Looking forward to it, Fred. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. I'm going to let you say goodbye to everybody, Nick. And I want to, again, personally thank you so much for coming on tonight, taking the time to do it, buddy.
Okay, let me just give a shout out to my coach, Todd, and weapons, Troy and Ramon, and Team Pack, FACK.
That's it?
That's it.
Right on, Nick. Nick, you have a good evening. I'm looking forward to seeing you in June.
Stole my thunder. Everybody that he said goodbye to, I was supposed to say goodbye to.
Wait, you can say it again. Everybody likes to hear their name mentioned. I mean, look at Ed. Did I do it
I
right?
like Ed the Gat.
God, I can't believe I pronounced that, or I spelled that wrong. Edgar. So it's Edgat.
Yeah.
I'm a get. Am I saying bye
Edgat.
now?
You're gonna have to
Yeah.
get Nick.
Oh,
You're gonna have to get.
Hey, let me just a quick moment. I want to give a shout out to the OG Ironman for making me part of their team, and thank you for the medal, even though I didn't play. But thank you, Team Philippines. Thank you. And then I just want to give a shout out to Kamandang from SoCal. They took second place in the 10-man event for PBSL. Then Evans Middleton for Capital Edge from DMG. He's like 14 years old. Took second place. Joe Beebe, Jace Bernardi from Gods of Work, first place. Adrian Mota from Sunshine State. They took first place. And then who is it? Charlie. Charlie. They took second place. They called it Flips 3-man or something like that. Then another shout out to Cat Factory team. Tyler, Caleb, and JP and Dave Baines. Congratulations for your first, for the first place. And that's about it. And Alex, thank you for the hormesis and thank you for the positive vibe with Oliver. That's spreading like wildfire.
It is, absolutely. I appreciate so much you coming on tonight, buddy. You're a big part of paintball, and you're getting bigger. And I want to thank you so much for coming on tonight. And I want to tell all you guys, even the guys still in the green room, you guys are more than welcome on my show anytime. Anytime you want to promote something or there's something that you want to convey to all the people out there, you feel free to get a hold of me, and I will get it up, and we will do it.
And hey, Fred, thanks for everything. But hey, Kid, I didn't forget you. But Kid is getting other players to join his team now, so we got kids in our group too.
Yeah,
So,
I'm looking forward to maybe sometime in the future. I sure like to play alongside you guys. Maybe not so much in the tournament, just maybe some kind of big game or something like that. We go out and bang away together. I think it'd be a riot.
I'm trying to get these guys to play mechanical.
We are. We're doing a WCPL and ICPL and the Monster Classic. So you don't have to worry about it. We're gonna do it.
Hey, you have a good evening, buddy. Thanks again.
Bye.
Wow, he's a great guy. You know that, Freddy?
Yeah, he's one of my closest friends.
Yeah,
without him, I don't. He's the one that brought me back into paintball. I had taken a 10-year break, and he called me up. He's like, "Hey, I'm playing for OG Ironman. What are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, you know what? Maybe I'll start playing again." And if it wasn't for him about 2 years ago, I wouldn't be playing. And then when I came home back from the Philippines, I had some health issues, and interestingly enough, I reached out to Nick Banta, and Nick was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Come on out." And because of paintball, I was able to, overcome a lot of those health issues. And if it wasn't for Nick, inviting me out to go play, I wouldn't be healthy where I am today. And so I owe a lot to those guys,
Yeah, they're great guys. You couldn't pick better friends.
I'm
God,
blessed.
I feel so. Absolutely. I feel bad. I butchered his name. No, God bless it.
That's okay. Everyone butchers my name. They're like, "How do you spell piano?" I'm like, well, if you don't know how to spell piano,
Now he's
Bill's
got a cool nickname, Ed the Gat.
Bill's gonna say that I butcher everybody's name. So yeah, but I just feel bad. He's such a nice guy, and I don't know where the hell I got Edgar.
He's definitely the best.
Although Edgar I can handle. Now I'm going to be working on his name because I want him back on again. He's a terrific guy.
Let's keep it Ed the Gat. We need to get shirts made. Ed the Gat.
Ed the Gat.
There you go. All right, Freddy, I'm going to let you say goodbye to everybody. Freddy, first of all, I appreciate, just like the rest of the guys tonight, thank you so much for coming on, taking the time to come on tonight. And I wish you nothing but safe travels and anything I can do to help the Filipino paintball community.
You've done a lot.
You do not hesitate to ask, period.
Yeah, thank you. Without this show, I don't think we would have a forum to really, start to spread the word, and we all appreciate it, and it was so much fun afterwards. People and friends were talking about how great the show was. So I do appreciate the show. But I definitely would love to say thank you to Todd Martinez and all the things that he's doing, with the youth league, the URPL. I think, without that league, we wouldn't see an uprising in the younger kids, right, in the way that we're having it today. So shout out to our coach, Todd, definitely my teammates and the team that I coach, which is FAC. Ironically, it stands for Filipino American Contract Killers. So shout out to Team FAC and shout out to Will. Obviously, he was on the show and he's a major reason that, we're doing well because he helps sponsors us. But also our local teams and our local fields that allow us to play, whether it's woods ball or speed ball, which would be Battle Creek and Long Live Paintball. And we really appreciate those guys, from Chris Straza to Jim, to putting up great tournaments and having great fields and really promoting paintball in the area, right? So I think it's definitely thriving here in the Northeast in New Jersey, and it's very exciting. I haven't seen it this way for years, right? And so I'm very happy. So again, thank you to the local guys, and thank you to you guys for helping us spread Team Philippines and spreading the word of just making paintball larger.
Well, we're not done, buddy. You and I, we're going to work together, not just to make paintball bigger, but your group bigger too.
I appreciate it. So you guys have a great one, and have a good night. It's a little late. It's almost 11 o'clock here, so ready to go to bed.
You take it easy, my friend.
Bye-bye.
Bye now. Freddy Piano. What a great guy, huh? I mean, all these guys that were on tonight, they are just so good, so good for paintball. They just it makes it makes me feel good to have these type of guys on. I mean, what they portray to the sport and to people listening, Bill, I think is outstanding.
It's definitely it's a positive direction. It's awesome.
Out there, if you're Filipino and you like paintball, get hooked up with these guys. I got to tell you, the Filipino paintball community is excellent. Get on this group, people. I'm telling you, I think you would absolutely love it. And if you just want to go support them, get on the group anyhow. These are some great guys, don't you think, Billy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because Billy, you belong, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep. I keep track. I watch what's going on everywhere.
Yeah, Billy's the numbers guy with this bunch. Believe me, he tells me what's going on all the time, keeps me informed. But they were terrific guys, aren't they?
I look old and act senile, but I know what's going on.
One of us has to, and I'm glad.
Yep.
All right, Billy. Well, I'm gonna let you say goodbye to everybody, and
see you guys later. Hopefully see everybody at the Monte Casino. That's coming up here at the end of the month.
I see you got your shirt on. Sit up so I can see the shirt.
Yeah, well, that's the old shirt. This is a 2019.
Still a cool shirt.
Yeah, Dan Colby and Bud Orr.
Oh yeah, wow. Did you pose for that?
No.
Oh, okay. It looks like your face with the fire behind it. I don't know.
No, that's Joe. That's
there you go.
That's Joe yelling at people.
Right on. All right, Billy. Yeah, Monte Casino, guys. It's coming up April 30th to May 1st, and it's at Rude House, not Roadhouse. Nope. Rude House, Illinois. You get a chance.
Paintballtogo.com.
Yep.
Got one of the best cook shacks ever.
Really I knew that was coming up.
Huge field. Yeah, I like to partake me in some cook shack.
we're a team. I talk paintball, he talks food shacks. It all works out.
Yep. Yeah. I know.
Right on, Bill. All right. Well, tell Susan I said hi.
Will do.
Stay safe, buddy. All right, everybody. I appreciate so much you guys watching tonight. I am so happy to have these guys on. Freddy and I, we stay in contact, and this is just a great group. Like I say out there, if you get a chance, you want to support these guys up, down, and sideways. Let's all work together to build paintball. I'm telling you, if we all work together, we're going to kick butt. We're going to have this thing huge. Let's all work together. So till next Tuesday, please Play hard, play safe, play fair, but get out there and play paintball. I'll see you guys next week, huh? Bye now.